Okay, so this is part 2 of my response to this, which is in defense of my perspective, which is that women can have it all, if and only if the way we define work does not align with hustle culture. Here's what I mean by that. So I think women can have it all, but I think that to have it all, you have to radically redefine what work-life balance even looks like. For example, we all know you can't have work-life balance if you're a chronic people pleaser who is working 80 hours a week and who lives for everyone but yourself. Like, work-life balance doesn't exist for you at all in that example, and there's plenty other ones. But if you're someone who has learned certain things, like you play yourself to your strengths, you know you're an energetic signature to the way in which you're working, to the products and the services that you're bringing to the world. You only work when you're lit up. I know that is a really triggering comment for a lot of people, but it is super, super true that, and you have to, like, I believe we probably all know this, like when you are rested and when you are at your capability, what you can do with the same 60 minutes is profound compared to when you're exhausted, burned out, and depleted, just plugging away because you have a long to-do list that never gets done. We know instinctively that there's a way to work smarter, not harder. Our trouble is we do not see this taught very often, modeled, or spoken about unless people have already made millions and billions of dollars and then look back and go, well, I've been realigning my whole business and energetic signature the whole time. And you're like, where was that information when you were only at 7 figures a year versus 9 figures a year? Like, we get that CEOs can have a really cool work-life balance when they're making billions and billions of dollars and have 3 personal trainers and assistants, etc. Where we're missing this leadership is in between, in the rise, in the come up. And that's where I think there's the most potent power, specifically for women. Women, I don't think, want to work the way hustle culture does. My husband and I talk about this all the time. He's always like, Peyton, I love running super fast and like going marathon mode in business and like hurdling over these obstacles. And I'm like, ooh, interesting. I would prefer not to have obstacles. I would prefer to make it easy. And so much of what I teach and what I care about now and what I feel like I'm an evangelist for now, not that that's my favorite word, but what I sell so easily is that there is a different and a better way to do this, and it doesn't have to be hard. Now, with that definition under my belt, work-life balance is the dream. Because as you're balancing, you're recalibrating, and as you're recalibrating, you're stoking your fire, and you're all excited and turned on in your life and in your business, so that when you show up to work for the much more condensed workday that is now possible because your energy is so ripe and so ready, you will have work-life balance. And you will have to do things that are so radical and so countercultural that people will not know what to do with you. But if you're courageous enough to go there, you can have work-life balance, and you can have, to me, what's more important is like a freedom-based business. That's what I think is the sexiest thing out there. And I do believe there's an entirely different technology to, or strategy to how we do business and do work that would radically shift this so that this is now made possible. But in the current packaging, in the current way the world props it up, I'm 100% with you on that. I don't think that's possible at all. And I think that we should probably stop trying and maybe spend more of our effort going, why are we working like this to begin with? And especially, I do a lot of work with entrepreneurs because that's the demographic that can change a lot of this for the working world. Is if we have people at the top leading by example and starting to really tune into the fact that you do not have to sit your ass in a chair for 10 hours a day to put a scoreboard up on the wall. But you could work really intentionally with killer, kick-ass energy. Somebody's 4 hours when they're lit up and turned on by life and being played to their strength could be someone else's 12. And let's stop counting it by hours, and let's measure it by energy and by genius. And if we start talent mapping like that, we will shift the business world, which is what I care a lot about. And this is a very long part too, but I'm glad you stayed with me if you did.